the United States of America na ye monitor Yera Ken Ofori-Atta ne issue abeto apono so about and immigration status the issues aberno ama wakwakodi ice for ensem na enrada na wokopie mu ewo the US Immigration Court abusia wokopie mu ewo honom no na chese utimu se man no said your TNE screens no social body na atimu say ready and social screens was say US judge demands proof of na che say ye be kan say Ken Ofori-Atta in cases no eda so a ekoso ye be hwe na ye di eche na no mo na US immigration lawyer Janelle Oclose ede ensembi ababetu dwa efa Ken Ofori-Atta ne court appearance will make no enra no emu nsem de course so ene de free mu ebe nyina no US immigration lawyer Janelle Oclose ede ensem ni nchire mu ababetu dwa ye beche bre na yakwakotie ensem a wode eto emonten so ye ba there is more update on this issue ye de ebe mamu. Abusia yemfa mofa nche yemfide ne yedi adwuma we yedi sa video no ebeba enche that is ye mami oklu na or explain the mere fact say enrada Ken Ofori-Atta ne court wo koye no na was no mo de hwehwe ne nsemufa ne immigration status hu nsemu a ebeto dwa ene ade na yenhwe video no embra.
First of all, generally in immigration proceedings, most immigration proceedings are open to the public. Okay, so as you have just stated yourself, all the prior cases that were called before Mr. Ofori-Atta's case, they were open to the public. You could see what was going on. However, when his case came up, his lawyers requested for an in-camera hearing. Basically, in-camera hearings are private hearings where only the respondent, his attorney, and then also the attorneys for the government and the judge are the only ones that are present. It's typical in cases where privacy is considered necessary. Sometimes there are sensitive issues that are being discussed, or there are issues of national security. So in some way, his lawyers have convinced the judge that this is a sensitive issue, and for that reason, it was made into an in-camera hearing. So as you saw when Mr. Ofori-Atta first walked into the room, what would be normal is to...
Abusia for a year lawyer Oclose na yekoti nsema wode etu dwa se enrada Ken Ofori-Atta ne judgment na ekoso no na more like a virtual one when one call a year court honum in person ochemu said that is the works of ne lawyer no the lawyers for no anytimi plead any judge ne kasaya Ken Ofori-Atta didn't appear in person name it is allowed in the constitution of the US for ne mechanism immigration court proceedings they say you betimi appeal for more like a virtual court proceedings when the issue is very delicate and demanding. Now was cheche muwe muno ye bepiem Ghana ha United Party for Communications member Samuel Usu and so abeye an expose about this whole Ken Ofori-Atta US traveling issues I did in same way but and from the look of things no come here say Ken Ofori-Atta the likelihood of he being extradited no very very high enyasem kitwa but eno no yebedi eno so ho enkomo but then answer na no yenje bre na yentie Samuel Usu analysis a wa make about Ken Ken Ofori-Atta ebra wode enkrata ekoye ede ekoma the den femo pare sabre ne say oh woko US akodi be 3 weeks bi pe aba, and here we are Ken Ofori-Atta etwa be afe kula ni echire a on Ghana. Na said this man has the intentions and the mind say enya dia wo besi Ghana hanum say ene china at any point in time, because nkawaya na dwen say obeba Ghana from the letter or chair, so even before the elections ne eba be koso, he would have been in Ghana by now. So on yashe there and onye na dwen na omra yentie samusun se mode tuja.
First of all, Ken Ofori-Atta has always been lying to the people of this country.
What do you mean by lies?
So I have in my hand there his letter that he wrote to the former chief of staff, Frema Opare, and listen to what he said to convince Frema before being allowed to leave the country. Request for approval to travel for medical checkup. Say greetings as usual. He will greet us even in budget. He greets us. Point 1. Trust this letter finds you well in high spirits. Once again, Bible. 2. This is to formally request your approval to travel to Rochester, Minnesota, USA for a medical checkup from 4 January. Check the date. Listen to the date. 4 January 2025 to 28 January 2025.
When was this written?
2nd January 2025. This is, you see, we have just decided to this. What? Check. Everything is there.
Okay. Why this?
So the man had deceived the authorities that he was just going away for only maximum 3 weeks. And that by the 28th of January 2025, he will be back to town. This was what he told the authorities, only to find himself in the United States of America and begin the process of what? Altering his residential status to become a permanent person. Roland, let me tell you something. And for those I've heard, I don't know whether Frank Davis is his lawyer or not, because anytime I see any statement,
Frank Davis representing.
I don't know whether he represents. We must be careful.
But Frank Davis is not here. Please,
yes.
Statement that
you see,
do not
Roland,
cast aspersions on it. On his
one day I will die. One day you will die.
Yes.
What Ken Ofori-Atta is doing, we must put it on record. Is he saying that now he doesn't want to come back to Ghana at all? If he does not want to come to Ghana at all, and the event that he dies like I will die, and they make any attempt to bring the corpse to this country, I will sue the corpse. That will mean that Ghana is only a country that wants corpse. It's not, yes, not a cemetery. You understand? That come back to your country. You told the authorities that you were only going to spend 3 weeks. 3 weeks are turned into almost 2 years.
He said he's been sick. That's what you read.
The man, when you saw him yesterday, does he look like someone who is sick?
I don't understand.
So fit, he has even put on weight. So handsome. Even in the mask, he's handsome. Nobody is saying that you have committed any crime. Come back to your country and answer pertinent questions, because we know that our monies are missing. If it is not with you, come and help us to locate where the monies are. You say, Imbano, you won't come. All right. The cost will come. We live in this country. So clearly, what is happening is a very serious matter. But the judge raised certain fundamental issues with the response from the attorney, the U.S. attorney. On the matter of extradition, they are saying they don't have the document before them. The judge says he does not have the document before him to make any determination on that matter. Did you listen to the judge?
Yes.
So what that tells me is that the Attorney General must immediately, if they did it by DHL, or they must find out where the extradition application is. Now, those that are questioning why we are picketing at the U.S. Embassy must now begin to revise their nose. It's as a result of the indication that has been given to the U.S. Embassy. That is why the attorney could go to court without even the proof in his hand to tell the judge that, hey, the people have heard. They have filed an extradition orders. This morning from here, I'm going to the United States of Ghana, Embassy in Ghana, to pick it, to drum into their ears that they cannot blow hot and cold. They cannot let the United States be a sanctuary for corrupt African officials.
How do you mean?
We are saying somebody has taken our resources. It's with you. Bring the person, you are saying no. We should go through process. The small boys, they have been coming for them here. Abutrika and go. If we were also going to go through the same process with them, do you think we will allow anybody to go?
But we have a treaty with the US.
Yeah, so that treaty must also work. It's reciprocal. It's not subsidiary. We are a sovereign country. They are a sovereign country. We must respect ourselves. They must do what is needful. Either than that, the United States will not be respected by me, neither my offsprings, those that are dead, for they will be seen for who they are. That is a country that harbors politically, criminally minded personalities, maybe female or male.
But you can't make that attribution now.
Which one?
The United States are bringing so-called criminal...
Why, what you are saying is that someone is in court, 78 charges. The OSP has filed 78 charges against Ken Ofori-Atta. The man is saying he's not coming. What does he tell you?
Now the case has been adjourned to April.
They don't intend to bring the man. April, they will move to June. December. By the time you realize about 10 years over there, then the status changes. And this is why the minority that held that press conference, that they have a problem with the U.S. banning the processing of immigrant visas. I don't understand it. Wouldn't you be happy that by this whole process, Ken Ofori-Atta will be barred from processing his immigration status or changing his immigration status so that he is brought back to this country? In any case, we are not even sure whether if they decide to bring him back, because now we understand that he holds 3 different passports. If they do not bring Ken Ofori-Atta back, one day when I become somebody in this country, hold a ministerial appointment, all that I will do is that I will loot from you and go and live in Togo and change my status and have a Togolese passport, and you people will struggle before you bring me to Ghana. Me, I won't go to your US, so only Togo here. After all, a few days I can smuggle, they come and look after my family. We cannot be treating ourselves like that. But the longer he stays in the United States, the better for the United Party. Because then it tells you the credibility with which the NPP works. I was thinking that they will be the first party to be wishing that he comes to clear his name. And by clearing his name, it will affect the party, for the party to look good in the eyes of the people. Now that almost anybody that has spoken on this matter that I have heard insists that if they were Ken Ofori-Atta, they will prolong their stay in the United States. What he's telling me is that yes, you have looted, you have voted with our money, stay there, don't come, so that this country suffers. Is that what you want for this country? So you see, when we are doing politics, we also want to be superpower, as has been referred by Zato. We can only be a superpower country when we expend our resources judiciously. We have undertaken a lot of projects that have taken monies out of this country. When he saw the need that he had to deal with his prostate, he realized that there was a Mayo clinic. So if I'm suffering from prostate cancer, where would I go? Would I have the opportunity of going to Mayo? When in fact you were the one controlling our resources? We cannot do that to ourselves. And this must be a lesson to all those in public service today, that the name of the game is service. I have never seen a servant that decide to loot the kingmakers. And that if you have any intention of looting from us, let what Ken Ofori-Atta situation has done be a guideline to you. And that the same measure, in fact it could be even higher measure, that will be used to checkmate you. We cannot let Kaya, the taxi drivers, the truck drivers, common teachers, and nurses who are struggling daily to pay their taxes to ensure that this country develops, be shortened. Remember what Dr. Samuel Amakwe told your reporter.